afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to week number 7 of the SPL. We've got a lot of exciting matches today going on in the North American region. We're going to start off with Eager versus the Legions.
We've got 4 weeks left until all the qualifications for DreamHack are done. Honestly, this has gone. This spring split has gone by pretty fast. I'd have to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's just whizzed right past. Zip, zap, zop. Enemy up on top. Soar, Luminosity make up number 2 and number 3. Luminosity really sneaking their way up into number 3 and have really proven to be a stronger team than they sort of set out in the beginning.
Denial Esports, Envy, going to follow them. And at the bottom, it's Allegiance and Randos. We're going to see Allegiance here as well. New meta, though, coming into week 7 of the SPL. The jungle has seen some drastic changes. Speed buff is back. The back RPs are repositioned. And so we really feel like that junglers are going to be, once again, a hard carry role. And I think any team that has a strong jungler is basically going to be buffed this patch.
Yeah, so I mean, it's new meta, but it's sort of a throwback to an old meta. The map is very similar to what Season 2 looked like. Still a little bit different. We do have those elementals near the fire giant. They'll be spawning up until 10 minutes. But as Kevin said, the blue buff has returned over to solo lane, and the speed buff is back. So keep an eye on your favorite junglers. And I'm very curious to see characters, specifically Lassiz on Allegiance. He was a guy that played a lot of jungle previously, back when that was the old map, and then transitioned into mid. And when he came back, it was sort of a completely different world. Now it's a little bit more than what he used to.
And also, djpernicus is going to be matching up against him in the jungle. djpernicus has had, it's interesting because early on he was really struggling in the first couple weeks. That's when Eager went 2-4 right out of the gate. But since then, they've been a very dominant force in North America. And now that DJ has to transition again back into that old school jungle. Now, DJ is a very good jungler, but is he going to be a little bit too aggressive? Because that's really the thing, is that it really seemed like DJ started dialing back, right? He stopped making any risky plays, and all he did was kind of just look to set up the best here. But with jungle being a hard carry role, maybe he needs to transition back into that being that very aggressive jungler, or maybe that could be punished as well. So a lot of question marks on the table here for this matchup.
There's a lot of different options for the hard carries. I mean, Hunter is still definitely in the conversation. So as we take a look towards Zapman, one of the veterans, and one of the rookies, Oceans, who have both really proven to be very strong forces, these players should be extremely, extremely powerful, even with the map changes, and everything involved. Let's get into picks and bans. Eager versus Allegiance, game number 1.
Looking for that detonate for the secure, and it's gonna go to Allegiance. It's stolen. That might have been Incon.
No follow-up from the rest of Allegiance. Oh, there comes the Kraken. It's gonna find 4. Lassiz takes out Panda.
Nice shots from Oceans as well. What the hell was that?
Throwing dagger's still around, but it certainly doesn't have the crit. Still, Hunter's very, very powerful. Expect Oceans or Zapman to make many plays like we just saw right there. Picks and bans coming out. Eager on the left, which means they've got first pick, and they also have first ban, and they'll take Thor off of the table.
I'm going to be really interested to see what kind of style Eager go into. They were kind of found out in their last matchup. I believe it was, who was it? Was it... I can't even recall. Someone banned away kind of their bread and butter, and I think Allegiance recognized that. They're going to take away the Sobek, and more than likely, either the Awelish or Zeus will be banned out as well, which is really something Eager has been leaning on heavy for their wins.
Yeah, Zeus will be interesting coming into the new map, or the old new map, if you will. I'm curious to see if that god is still held in high regard. Sobek, though, as you said, that 1-2 punch of heavy displacement with even more follow-up on the Awelish, definitely something teams have taken note of, and Team Eager will not be able to have either part of that combination. So Team Eager will have to take a different approach into this match.
Khepri is available if Aror wants to play that, although he hasn't had the immense success. We seem to find him having the most success on kind of these aggro junglers like a Sobek, but immediately on her first pick. And I think this is more that Eager don't want to pick anything right now. They want to kind of design their comp around whatever Allegiance goes, but they've left open Khepri and Zeus.
Yeah, Zeus will be picked up for Allegiance, and that'll be on Incon in the mid lane. The Anhur, now we have seen Anhur in the mid over in Europe, but knowing the way this team works and the way these players are, Zapman will definitely be playing the offensive Hunter. Ravana will also be selected by Allegiance, likely for Mattypocket.
This is funny. This is actually both teams, like, obviously Incon's very good on Zeus, but this is more both squads, like, picking the other strengths, right? Team Eager take Anhur, which Oceans has found the most success on. Immediately Allegiance respond with Zeus, which Best has done very well on, and Ravana as well, locking it away from Divios. Eager are also going to lock in the Scylla, who was banned away from them in the last match, where they were locked out of the Zeus, the Sobek, the Awalish, and the Scylla, and they faltered because of it.
And if I'm Team Eager, I'm totally okay with Allegiance taking the Zeus, if only because that means Best is going to be on the Scylla, a character that Best has really exemplified strong presence on, not just this year, but many years in the past. And the Kumbhakarna will be selected from Team Eager. Tons and tons of peel will be matched with a large amount of clear with Soul.
Soul going to be going over to Oceans, and now Allegiance are going to start banning away some characters here. They don't have a jungler just yet, so they could look to target some of those out and then pick it for themselves, since they do have the first pick in the second phase of the draft, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're really targeting DJ's Godpool and Eager. They're also locking away Lassiz right now. 4 jungle bans on the side of Eager. This is going to be interesting. Both are going to go very deep into their Godpools.
Yeah, we're going to see honestly, some jank here, Kevin. A lot of the jungles are just gone. Even this is funny. That Athena, I mean, that's obviously for the support, but part of me wants to think it's Athena jungle. Just taken away from Lassiz.
Lassiz has done Athena jungle. He was the first to bring it in and play it repeatedly. I think other people had done it before, but no one had done it as much. And there's Nemesis. That is not what you want to see, boys. 0 bans, 3% picks, 0% win rate. Nemesis, realistically, Nemesis can be powerful, but it's kind of like it's a curse at this point.
Does the speed buff change the Nemesis situation, though? Because Nemesis, a lot of problems that she has, I mean, she has a lot of problems, full stop. But a lot of the problems that she has is the inability to really keep up with her opponent. And Serqet is certainly a character that Nemesis is not going to be able to keep up with.
Divios is going to be on Vamana and Allegiance. They're looking for the last pick here in this matchup. Looking for a support. Khepri is still available, but a little bit riskier going to, if it's picked into Serqet there, that poison can last kind of through the ult sometimes for Khepri, the revive, right, if you time it right.
It's very similar to the way Kali ult works, where Kali and Khepri ult are both on a time frame, and the damage ticking down might just last a little bit longer. It's going to be the Bacchus support for Team Allegiance. They've got a very interesting rounded composition here with Nemesis and Bacchus. A lot of strange gods coming out. Team Eager, I would say probably a little bit more traditional.
And the question is this Nemesis, right? Because the biggest weakness Nemesis has is a lot of low early pressure, but paired with the Zeus, who is very dominant at the mid-harpies, could help her survive out of her rough early game here. The question is DJ going to look to abuse that? Are we going to see this invade style come out of DJ, which he actually has been very good at, right? DJ not only sets up for the best, but he's also very good at trading out camps. Even if his jungle's getting pressured, he's making sure to steal away the opponent's jungle, and now with speed buff, that's going to be even more vital.
High mobility jungles coming in here with a speed buff around their waists. It's going to be a fast game, and we will quickly get into it. Eager versus Allegiance, starting now.
But it just wasn't enough. DJ closing the gap there into the sash. This game was dead even less than 5 minutes ago, and now it's 2 Phoenixes and a triple root from the best. Crush coming through, and that's going to be another kill. Zapman's now in trouble as well. He will ricochet for a double kill.
Nemesis on Lassiz here. This is a character that Lassiz has played a decent amount of Nemesis when she was good. And again, we keep seeing this character picked despite having a 0% win rate in the SPL. It's been picked a number of times, not exactly number 1. Why do we keep seeing this choice?
Because it's working out in scrims, and honestly, Nemesis is good, right? It's kind of like the first. Oh, actually, wait, DJ. Oh, he's fine. Okay, not gonna get caught out. I was a little bit worried for them backing their Envision of Allegiance. They're gonna ward up, but Nemesis can be good, right? The whole idea of Nemesis is typically to focus out supports, right? Aror rotates over. What Lassiz does is he presses 4, and then all the legions pile on him, and there's actually nothing Aror can do about it because he's had so many protections stolen. Also, that percentage health as well. To be fair, Nemesis has seen some buffs as well, so getting 50% of the protection stolen at all ranks now instead of scaling up. So that's really what Allegiance are looking for, is to try and pick off players rotating in and out of the jungle.
And I actually, personally, I really like Nemesis in very specific situations. This Eager composition, perhaps not the absolute top tier, but when it comes down to it, Divios is going to be a lot less tanky than he actually thinks, and Aurora, obviously the support. Nemesis does very well against that character.
And funny enough, Divios actually picked the Vamana into the Nemesis, so not something you typically see coming out. And now, looking at the starts here, the question is going to be the junglers, right? Both are at blue right now. Are they going to go to the mid camps, or are they going to split waves? We've seen kind of both styles so far as people have experimented, and based on DJ's positioning, he's going to lane.
Yeah, he's going to go hang out with the solo laners. We've seen basically one wave.
Season 1, boys.
Yeah, one wave that the junglers will hang out with the solo lane and then go and rotate towards the mid. And that's exactly what we're seeing here right now. DJ's going to dance with Lassiz just a little bit, but nothing too intense as he's taking some poke from the archers.
And now you can see Best actually pushed up there in the mid lane as well, and Eager really controlling all lanes right now. Even DJ and Divios were able to successfully outpush Matty and Lass, get the fire elementals as well. Left Harpies have been completed already, so rights are the ones that are going to be up in contention.
Double root coming out from Aror. No real punishment there, and this is quite a different story. Not going to find the jump is going to be Zapman.
Incon. Incon's dead here. Ocean's
one
almost
shot
dead.
on Incon. There it is. Aror finds first blood in the left lane onto the Mage Hunter. Ocean's suffering just a little bit. Right-hand Harpy is going to be contested. Best is totally fine. DJ, on the other hand, not as healthy as his mid laner. So Eager will be chased off of the mid camps by Allegiance.
That first blood was beautiful. Really nicely played by Zapman as well. Even though Oceans is going into his corporeal form, Zap repositions himself above Oceans and then impales him back in. The Best picking up a kill in the mid lane as well. 1 versus 2. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Best isn't even level 5. Incon made some mistake.
Making that rotation over towards the mid Harpies, we noted that djpernicus was below 50% HP, but guess what? So was Incon. Best obviously figures that out and then goes ahead, takes the aggressive stance as the characters make their way back to mid, and Incon gets smoked out by a strong crush. Zapman and Aurora are going to have to fall back here in the left lane.
And this is going to get really rough for Eager, right? They've already taken deaths in both the mid lane and the dual lane. And Divios is pushing and honestly bullying Mattypocket really hard right now. Already has a 200 gold lead. We're only 2 minutes in. That's not, you know, the most massive thing, but still something that's very important.
Aurora has already finished Traveler Shoes. That's something very important. And I want to take a
DJ's
look
5 here. He needs 1 minion. There it is. Matty's dead. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, he's going to get pushed backwards. There's a whole bunch of damage, and there's the explosion. djpernicus, 3 kills for Team Eager in under that many minutes. They're already off to a tear.
This is a very awkward start to a game for Allegiance because now all 3 lanes have just died in very weird circumstances. Mattypocket not expecting the rotation from DJ coming out right there. Obviously, also might have been a little bit, or felt a little bit safe because DJ was still level 4, right? He has that information available to him. He's like, all right, DJ's not going to gank until he's 5. Incon dies 2v1 in the mid lane, and then Zapman makes a great, play for first blood. And now the mid Harpies as well, going to be stolen away by the Best and Eager. I mean, they already have a 2k gold lead, and it feels like nothing's happened so far.
Yeah, it's been very small, not even engagement, just small okie dokes coming out from Eager. Something I want to bring attention to as we have a little bit of, well, Aurora's going to get aggressive one more time and head towards the enemy speed, but it's a hair too late as Lassiz has already confirmed it.
But looks like there's not going to be a follow-up. It's going to be the blue buff pressured out here. Lassiz is around. Incon and MrMakey are actually starting to rotate, but they're giving it up. Lassiz says no, he's going to go to mid lane.
Yeah, there's 4 players here in Eager jerseys. There's no interest in stopping that situation right there. And Mattypocket will have to continue on the Ravana without the blue buff. Straight up, Anhur has finished the golden bow. I really like this choice, mainly because of one of the items that has had a change, and that's Wind Demon.
Oh,
right now, Aurora's setting up a fight.
Rooted out there, Incon, but no fault from the rest of Eager. Zapman working on that red buff, and yeah, we haven't really seen anyone experiment with Golden Bow. Even before, when it had crit, Golden Bow wasn't picked up, but it's seen some changes where it now has 40 power, which is basically boots, and once Zapman gets boots online as well, that's 80 power in the early game. And
then Wind Demon is an item that we will likely see. It's a very powerful item, and basically
excuse me, 55 power. The old one was 40 power.
Yeah.
That's a ton of power.
It's totally a ton of power. A lot of movement speed as well. So that power will allow the amplification of crit if we should see it a little bit later. The small choice of having Anhur go the red buff. I like this choice. Scylla's a later game god. Her damage is going to come on a little bit later, whereas Anhur, he's looking to fight now.
I mean, he's got 55 power. You
Yep.
might as well get red buff at this point.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure Best didn't go purple pot, but still doesn't have that much kind of
Wow.
base there. And now, I mean, these mid-harpies getting stolen. Look at this. They're setting up for a kill onto Oceans. He has no idea. Bye-bye, Oceans.
Yeah, no idea whatsoever. Auror's going to show up. There's the curse. The immune from the corporeal form. And curse blown out for nothing, really. Honestly, that's going to be a loss for Eager. But the way the game has been going, I don't know if that's going to impact them so much.
I don't think they're going to care too much. Already with a 3,000 gold lead. We're 5 minutes in, and there's been 3 kills on 3 separate lanes. 2,300. But still, like, Eager are just running train in every single lane. And look, the setup on the left lane again. Auror's trying to find a kill, looking for the ult. There it is.
Down from the sky will come Oceans, right, in the corporeal form, so immune to anything else. But waits out the Mez. Not going to find, not very accurate as Zapman with the ultimate, but the basics and the Impale will be. Still, Oceans lives with 10 HP.
And no response, honestly, from Allegiance. They've kind of, I don't know how much practice they were able to get in before this match, but it really doesn't look like they know how to rotate around this season, the latest map, right? Mackey's kind of just been in the jungle. He's been in every position in the jungle, but
Nice catch.
I don't think he's done anything.
Yeah, there really hasn't been an impact, honestly, from anybody in Allegiance. You know, it's interesting, Kevin. Week number 1 is when these guys played, and Eager beat Allegiance, but Allegiance has improved in many different ways.
I agree.
Not just the Mattypocket over in the solo, like I always bring attention to, but the role swap as well. So I kind of thought going into this one that Allegiance would be better equipped to handle Eager.
I mean, to be fair, right, it's Zeus and Nemesis, and Nemesis has no early pressure, so now that the teams, now that mid and jungle aren't, hip to hip early game, it was very hard for Zeus to kind of push up. He was so worried about the Serqet. Now, invasion into this speed buff, and Auror's going to steal it away. Mackey misses the belly flop. DJ here. He just wants the speed buff, though. I don't think he's really looking to force anything, and you can see him quickly death bane out. And Eager, they've got what they wanted. They're going to dip. Maybe they want the blue buff too. They want everything.
Exactly. Eager right now, they've got a large step ahead of the opposition, and they want to go ahead and leverage that. Isolated as Mattypocket. 3 members of Eager are going to separate him from the rest of the squad. Mackey will be mezzed out. And Aurora and everybody else will go
I like
ahead
that.
and
Did
retreat.
you see the pings that came out? Zapman or someone pinged out that Soul was in the mid lane, meaning that Eager were going to have an odd-numbered fight. And the boys just kind of held their position, and that was just so Allegiance wouldn't rotate back over. That gave Zapman the ability to push in a wave, and now he's in position to try and steal away the red buff. Ocean smells him out, though.
He's trying to steal away the
doesn't see
life
anything.
of Oceans. Impale, basic, ultimate, done, son. Zapman with the 4th kill of the game. Allegiance looking to turn things around as Aurora takes a whole bunch of damage. But the 1-2 punch from the best, and Aurora chase off the enemy. But Aurora's able to find
Incon, you can't get those autos. Oh, the rotation from DJ. Not only is Aurora going to live, but Incon should die here. Zapman's here as well. Once again, Makey misses a belly flop. There was actually 3 players around him, and he jumped right in the middle of all 3 of them.
6 unanswered kills. A lot of them just came from Eager dominance, honestly. That was the first time that I really want to attribute some of the kills to Allegiance dropping the ball there, Kevin. I think it was just Eager looking real strong. And then right there in the mid lane, like you said, the Zeus going for the basics. I mean, that's not Eager just pulling ahead. That's Allegiance, unfortunately, dropping the ball.
I mean, to be fair, they didn't know exactly where DJ was, and that was, I think, getting very far behind, trying to make something happen. They really wanted to pick up Aurora, but still, Incon realizes it too late, gets baited. Mackey then misses his belly flop once again. Like I said, there was 3 people, and he hit the middle of all 3 of them.
And that's what, not the Mackey thing, going back to the Zeus not expecting djpernicus, that's one of the big things that you're going to have to change as far as this map change is concerned with your gameplay or these players' gameplay, is expecting the jungler at all points in time. 20% movement speed is a large amount. You're running around like Usain Bolt over here, especially if you're a Serqet. This is one of the most mobile gods in the game. You got to expect the unexpected.
And now Eager, they're up about 4,000 gold here. A couple stolen camps, the first blood, a number of kills after that. The farm's starting to come through. And Scylla there. Actually, no, I'm going to talk about Zapman. He's level 12.
Yeah.
We're 9 minutes in.
Yeah.
He's the furthest ahead in the game at this moment. Almost level 13. You can see he just needs a little bit more experience, and he's rotating to these mid camps as well.
Zapman has a little bit, right before that wave, Zapman had a little bit more gold than his solo laner. That is a scary situation if you're not just any hunter, but specifically an Anhur. I mean, this is Anhur's game.
That's funny. Both teams are at the mid camps, right? And Zapman's here, and like Allegian's like, we want to fight you, and Eager's like, we're not pulling the trigger, you pull the trigger. And Allegiance were basically like, all right, you're right, we can't actually fight you, we're going to lose this 3v3, and then backed off. And now speed buff aggressed onto once again by Eager. They do not want Lassiz to have this ever.
Yeah, DJ's going to show up one more time, and I love the play from Aror, just showing up on the left side while DJ shows up on the right side to pull the speed buff. Not going to bring the objective. I'll call the speed buff an objective.
Eager want to fight, though. They don't just want the speed buff. They want to bait Allegiance into a bad fight, but they're actually going to back out here. A 5-man grouping, and I like this, right? 5-man grouping from Allegiance. They forced everyone over to this side of the map, and then once again, Oceans is missing so much golden experience, just having to rotate, and Zapman wasn't even in lane. Zapman actually went back to base. Eager just put out so much pressure that the soul has to be there just in case a fight breaks out.
Yeah, 1,300 gold in the lead is Zapman, 13 to 1,200 depending on the wave situation, and that's a situation that is, like I said, an Anhur, the specific mid-game hunter. This is exactly this is an ideal situation for an Anhur player.
He's got Asti online already for 10 minutes in. Right-hand side, Divios is pressuring out Mattypocket. djpernicus is at full control of the jungle. Aror is in fights before Mackie is out of base, and there's not much Incon and Lassiz can really do. They have such low pressure, and now they're behind. It's very hard.
Yeah, Eager have put their foot on the gas and have not let up whatsoever.
Something to note, too, is that Serqet is probably one of DJ's best gods, right?
Yes.
We actually haven't seen it at all this season from him, but this is one of the gods that he is very good and can hard carry with. The other, I would say, Ratatosker, surprisingly. But he brings it out at land sometimes, and it's very scary how well he can play on these gods that have such high mobility and can dive your backline, and then also peel for themselves.
Exactly, and you know, DJ playing this character, like I said, with the speed buff, I expect a lot of changes, not just in the jungle, but some ripple effects as well, and specifically the god pool. And
I'm waiting for Merc. LG's playing later together, and Merc will either be picked or banned. I feel very confident in that.
I absolutely, completely agree.
Andy's like, yo, speed buff? Okay. Mercury, though. And then Wind Demon, too?
Looking at DJ and Lassiz, DJ also has a mean Mercury, but it's all about the mean Serqet right now. Ult for ult as Lassiz goes ahead and ults on the jungler. Mattypocket won't suffer enough damage to die.
And look at that, right? Divios immediately gets sprint. That's the biggest problem with Nemesis, right? But there's two big problems. First off, she has so low pressure early on as Zapman solos the Gold Fury, and this is going to go uncontested based on the positioning on the map. But also, she's completely countered by two items, right? First, the Relic in Sprint, and then second, the Winged Blade. There's just nothing you can do about it.
And honestly, it's coming into this game, it's less about having Nemesis particularly stick to a character and be a sheer assassin 1v1, and it's more about the team application of the ultimate, in all honesty, when it comes to a Nemesis. She brings a lot of utility rather than just straight damage.
Slows and
yeah, exactly.
Steals protections, and you're surprised about it when you try and kill her. And right now, Ocean's doing his best Weekend impression.
6, 6, 7 damage on the mage. Just pointing that out. Go ahead and drop whatever the hell you want.
If he does no more, I think it was 18 minutes that we looked at it.
Yep.
So Oceans can't do any more damage for like 6 more minutes. Mid lane.
Aror is going to do a ton of damage, doing everything to Incon and showing up as DJ. Nice meditation, not enough though.
Look at
Best
Lassiz
gets credit for that one off the assist of the jungler, and Allegiance might find their first kill, but it won't happen as DJ finds a way out of the right-hand side.
That was a really good curse, specifically. Now, actually, Mattypocket trying to find DJ in the jungle, and he's going to get turned on, actually. No more mana, though, and
Lassiz.
Allegiance pick up their first kill of the game.
Yeah, that was a wonderful play coming out from DJ.
This is a brutal game.
And that's what we were talking about, referencing that DJ was good at Nemesis, or excuse me, Serqet. Just understanding the amount of damage that he can output and go ahead and get that turnaround kill. As the best gets, I mean, it wasn't a turnaround kill. He's just stepping on the opposition.
Yo, Zap's
9-1.
Zap's like, all right, I'm going to get our red buff from Best. Then I'm going to steal their red buff. And then, when Lassiz is trying to do his speed buff, as 3 members of my team are right in front of him, I'm going to steal it and grab it for myself.
I mean, Zapman's doing the Izzy. Right now he's trying to collect all of the colorful rings in the entire game. Wow, that's a real throwback. You ever play Izzy and the Golden Rings on Sega Genesis?
Never did.
They made a game out of the, you know, the Olympic logo of all the colored rings?
Yes.
They made a game about a character finding those rings.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Was it like an adventure or like?
Yeah, it was like a platformer.
Okay. I'll have to check it out sometime.
Yeah, the 32-bit era.
I'm never
was,
going to check it out, by the way.
The
But I'm gonna say I'm
32-bit
gonna check it
era
out.
was a crazy era for games, and right now we've got quite a crazy game going on
There's
here.
like 64 bits in these games. It's crazy.
I can't count the bits. I don't know where we're at anymore. I'm not quite that technical guy, but I can count the kills, Kevin. 9 kills in blue. Allegiance have 1 answered back, and Jeez, it's almost 10K at 14 minutes. It's almost a death sentence. Turn around onto djpernicus as Lassiz ults him, but TheBest shows up, and there's double digits for Eager. TheBest have confirmed 4 out of those 10.
This is like my ranked game, right? Like, I got no pressure anywhere. All 3 of my lanes have fed in the first minute, right? All 3 of Allegiance lanes fed in the first minute. Maybe it was 2, I think. I can't recall. Anyways, it was very early. And then it's like, well, everyone's down, so someone needs to turn up now. But the problem is everyone's so far behind, who's going to do it, right? Because anytime they try to make plays, it's only turning even worse.
And Eager's doing exactly what they need to do here. Not only are they finding the kills early, but they're also transitioning those kills into experience denial.
Don't do any damage. Oceans, no damage allowed. Don't in hand. 667. We need to make it last for a little bit longer. Ah, there it is.
There's the ultimate of Zapman, and the knockup from Aror should be enough, and it will be.
And MrMakey stands in it and gets knocked away for bonus damage.
TheBest just shows up in case somebody needs to get caught by a root. Doesn't seem to be the case, but djpernicus will go ahead, catch out Lassiz one more time, and DJ gets the kill for that 12-1. Read the kill, still Allegiance with just 1, despite how just aggressive Eager has been, jumping into the enemy jungle. DJ's gonna hang out in the Zeus ultimate, and there's I'm a monster for 2 with 1 shot. Wonderful play.
This needs to go through.
Yeah, there's no way.
Absolutely. I am very normally adamant about not surrendering, especially in like non-best of 3s, but like we're 16 minutes in, man, and it's 14-1, and it is a 13K gold lead, I want to say, looking at that real quick. That was one of the most brutal games we have seen all season. I don't think Panthera has stomped the team that hard.
That was easily one of the most dominant performances, and like maybe mathematically you can go ahead and you can have a conversation about some of the other games specifically with Panthera, but just the frequency of the kills, the ability to strip the enemy jungle and all experience gold, single gold fury by himself with Zapman, everything you did there was just offensive to Allegiance.
It really seemed like Allegiance just had no idea what to do at any point in the game. I think, like, and it wasn't necessarily the Nemesis pick, right? But
not at all.
Nemesis has 0 pressure early on, right? Unless the other team messes up, she has 0 pressure. And that's exactly what we saw. The team got behind, and now you have a jungler that excels in picking individual players off. But the problem is every single one of Allegiance were the ones getting picked off.
Nemesis and Zeus, just not any early pressure. Eager was able to turn that on their heads and do, well, everything, including early pressure. Game number 2.